What if
Gaiss,
Onic just
pertandingan
picks
kedua
up Angela
Onic
or
melawan
Chip and slash
Biar
Oh,
off?
please bring the chip.
Lihat
Oh yeah,
dunia
please.
ya guys
It's
ya.
been banned since
Dia
yesterday.
dimulai dari
Well,
Yeah,
Mas
it's
ya
funny
dan
enough.
in the first
this
phase.
Yeah.
What is a self-sufficient marksman
Oh,
here?
guys.
Find a way,
Ah, no.
even when
They go
others
Vexana.
Sana.
Maybe eventually the chip. I don't know. But you need a very sturdy kind of gold laner. Actually, they might just go for somewhere along the Freya or Ruby.
Yeah.
Maybe pick up their EXP at this point.
hunt begins.
Okay,
Yeah,
they
Ruby.
take the Ruby.
Oh, Ruby,
and
as we
real quick,
mentioned.
too, I mean, you got to take a look at this. Super Friends top 1 here alongside UA Super Yoshi for highest kill
Wow.
participation. Super Friends, development-wise as well, as we talked
Yep.
about earlier, man, he has made a ton of progress over the
100%,
seasons, and it's great to see how he's kind of fitting into this. I mean,
That's right.
all these players
Oh
here
iya
obviously
guys,
from the
namanya
Philippines
yang
have done a
Luigi
great job at
guys.
getting to this
Luigi
point where that
Akai.
synergy with the Super Fam has been very apparent,
Akai.
and
Yep.
now to round out phase 1 here for AP Bren,
Great
they pick
answer,
up the
too.
old faithful.
Yes,
Yakai.
sir.
Yakai against Ibasha. So something to stop the wheels from rolling.
Yep.
Maybe just put it over in a corner and just make it work.
Yeah.
Spin. Spin to win.
Basically spin. AP Bren might just look for perhaps Arlot ban. Maybe if they're not that afraid of Jim's Arlot, maybe they just let it go. But those are the heroes that can match up against the Masha. Other heroes are Terizla. Terizla and Thams should be the targets here for Onic. Put it onto Gem. But AP Bren might just be taking out somewhere along the lines of a Harith, perhaps, or a Nathan, actually.
Yeah.
Nathan could be a good ban here.
See what they go with.
see lots of
All right, we're
Roger.
going to take out the Roger. It's funny because even mentioning Gem, man, just like in the previous game, he is a hidden gem.
Yes.
Like, he is the most low-key, I feel like, impactful XP
I
laner right now.
super duper agree.
Oh man, like the plays he made on the previous game too. Obviously, it calls for hey, if we want to take out, if you wanted to take out the Terizla,
Yeah.
you could have. He had great setups there, but obviously he could also. We could actually see him play this Ruby in the XP lane as
Yeah.
well. If they go that route, it's still kind of up in the air as we get through. That was also the Nathan ban that you just mentioned here.
Yeah.
Will.
Now, AP Bren might just ban the carry and then eye for a Claude in their 4th pick, their late game hero, because
Lihat ya guys
as
ya.
good as
Apakah dia mau
Akai
pakai
is, you kind of
apa
need
ya?
some damage in the late game, physical damage. Surely the Masha can dish out the damage, but it's more like a
Lihat
a
guys.
glass cannon build where
Yeah.
you kind of just sacrifice yourself
Masha.
afterwards. So
Speaking of Masha,
That's the stats.
Ogren, 100% win rate.
Clean.
You know, we've
There's the Arlot.
There's the Arlot. That's a good smart ban because Escalera, man, if he does get his hands on the Arlot, we've seen what
That's
he can do
also
with
true.
it.
That's
MVP
also true.
performances. Ogwen as well though. Like the Masha and the Luigi, dude, that is a lot of different kind of damage, right?
Yes.
When you talk about, I know you've kind of talked about the different kinds of damage before. I think you even mentioned Reap.
yes, exactly.
Is one of them. So Reap is for our viewers that didn't hear that one. What is Reap? Wolf?
Yeah, it's basically ramp damage from
Come
other
on,
games. It's like
Dexter. It's our
it's definitely
showtime.
Claude, right? So it's just Reap is like the damage output from Claude, where it will take time. Depends on it. Usually is dependent on attack speed. Burst damage, for example, is perhaps Harith, you know,
Yeah.
because it deals big chunks of damage, as well as carry in a way.
Vexana, pretty bursty.
Vexana is pretty burst. Farsa, those kinds of heroes.
So the Luigi, I mean, we saw an amazing escape
Yeah.
last week here, but I've seen a lot more Luigis pop up in the ranked games, man.
Yeah.
They had the inspiration, and
For
you also
sure.
have to respect the damage that
Yep.
she pumps out. So you kind of have like this mix of glass cannon burst right now with AP
Harith.
Bren.
Oh,
Harith
Harith
to
juga.
top it off.
Super Marco on the
Yeah.
Harith. And to add it with the diversion play that they can have control across the map.
Yeah.
First rule around here:
Okay.
What's the
that's-
answer?
break all the rules.
Or is the
I-
carry.
Okay, so still the same thing for Kelra as well.
Maybe a Kaja?
Maksudnya, oh.
Then they put the Ruby in the EXP. Otherwise, they can just go for somewhere. Actually, a Uranus is good here. But yeah, the turn is ever so reliable for Mr. Gem,
Mr. Hidden Gem.
Hidden Gem. Okay, well now for AP Bren, we're gonna be looking for their EXP laner, right? So Tirath, perhaps. Now I'm gonna be surprised if that is. How do you pronounce that actually?
I
Dyroth.
say Dyroth. Yeah.
Dyroth, okay.
Dyroth.
And I'm imagining the true damage that it can give for
Yeah.
Onic Philippines' lineup. No matter how sticky it goes, You can just beat the lead by just one hit if you get the stacks right.
Yep.
But that's not a problem for AP Bren. But the question is, will they go for it?
Dire throat really looks tempting. Otherwise, you go Benedetta, I guess, for AP Bren. Or maybe something totally different, like a Yu Zhang.
A little more safer. I mean, this lineup already is kind of like risky to it. There it is. Lapu Lapu.
Wala pala.
Yep.
This lineup from AP
Yeah.
Bren. You guys were for AP Bren the previous game. How do you feel about this one? The lineups here. AP Bren, is it still AP Bren or are you going with Onic Philippines? for
I'm
this
still
one?
going with AP Bren as of this
Okay.
point.
This, I know this sounds like a cop out, but this is pretty even, pretty
Yeah?
50-50, honestly. Because if you're looking at AP Bren, they are gonna bank on the Louis plus the Masha combo, but then the choice for the Harith is kind of iffy for me
Uh-huh.
in a way, but it is very strong in the early stages of the game. Now, if you're looking at Onic, it's very holistic, right? Very, very standard, which is weird because when they're going now up against AP Bren, there's nothing special about what they're doing. It's a very typical box kind of composition from Onic.
It is. So you guys watching on YouTube, let us know who you're feeling once again for this game 2. Is it hashtag AP Bren or is it hashtag Onic Philippines? Give us your user ID and your user server as well for a chance to win 1,000 diamonds for this matchup as we jump into game number 2. AP Bren facing off against Onic Philippines. They might have a taste of their first loss of the season here, both on their own different streaks, 6 and 5. Can they round it out here once again in a sweep? Lineup-wise, though, even in this early rotation, anything sticking out? We'll take a look at the emblems in just a second. There they are. Anything here? Wolf?
I guess there's really nothing that's really different from what you typically see. Maybe the concussive blast on King Kong, but that's actually pretty normal. So I think it's pretty standard for all the teams or the players that we're seeing right now.
I think the hardest thing about a lot of this, facing against the Louis Yi specifically, is like your head. Well, there's a term, head on a swivel, right? You have to constantly. Oh, Ogun already gonna flicker out here, so he gets poked down. But you kind of have to constantly be on the lookout for where's that diversion possibly coming from. Also, where's our placement? Because think about it. You have a penalty zone in the hands of Gem. If he lands a penalty zone, you're going to want to fight in that zone, most likely. But boom, here comes the kit from the Louis Yi. It's not going to be in your favor, especially with this early kind of damage that she is able to provide here for some of those fights. And it's great you have a Vexana as well to kind of alleviate that. But already, once again, King Kong going for it.
Heavy spin, connecting to King Kong. Will he be pushed away? He rolls away.
Okay.
But that's heavy spin committed. King Kong also committed his ultimate, so there's a big chance that both teams will just try to farm it all out. Especially because they want to secure this turtle. But Gem is level 3. And there's no way that they can take out this Terizla though.
Yeah, they won't be able to take him out. They want to get those level 4s. Turtle Guard going to be used. They know Kyle TZ does not have
Wow.
the heavy spin just yet. That's a turtle. Take it.
Onic Philippines getting the first objective for the penalty zone, connected to Flap TZ.
Wow.
Now he uses the Bravest Fire to escape. But wow, Onic Philippines, maybe that makes sense how he just left out the Eternal Guard right away and peeled off Kyle TZ few seconds before that turtle is going to be taken by Onic.
Wonderful play coming out from Onic for sure. We're gonna have to give it to Flap TZ though. Utilizing the immunity, the CC immunity that you get from the Bravest Fighter. At this point, Onic, because of how standard their lineup is, it looks very easy for them to set up their box. Like I said, this is a box strategy that they're very comfortable with. And all they need to do now is to increase the level gap between King Kong as well as Kyle TZ. And they're going to be set for the second turtle.
Okay, Escalar says be good, using that weight to hold him off. Ogwin has 1 HP more. That's the retribution. King Kong looking for a way to slow them down. Kyle TZ looking for a way to escape. He's trying to run. Ogwin has the second bar again. That's the recovery. But Theo on the other side, though. That's the Eternal Guard being dropped out, zoning 2 members out of AP Bren. Look at the pressure coming from the bottom side, even in the goal lane. King Kong, I was so looking for a way that he would actually hold that escape or recall back to base.
Yeah.
Man, that burst. And every time you see it with a Vexana, this early on in the game, you really have to respect it. And that single-handed choice cut them off from really getting in that fight. Few was not able to get the positioning he was looking for. So they find themselves once again still AP Brent looking for something. Oh,
Wow.
okay. They get the flicker out
Yun
from Super
dyan.
Friends.
Preemptive.
Yeah,
Much needed.
Yeah, and much needed. Very careful, and that's kind of what you need here. But now, 10 seconds away from this turtle, he's going to be a little vulnerable from AP Brent possibly setting up. But really, do they want to actually fight that out, contest it out? Can they win that 4v4 with both gold laners staying in their lane?
That'd be difficult. Unless Few is gonna hit all of his skill 1, skill 2 combos.
Here they come.
Flapped easy. Terrify connecting. That's the blast from the Eternal Guard. He falls down. That's the first one onto Gem. Now Turtle, who's going to get this? Now Kyle Teasy with a trade and objective. And now he flickers down Ogwen, looking for him to have a safe passage back to his own turret. Escalera, that's a flicker. Going in from Gem. He's not going to let him go home. But down bottom, Super Marco and Keller 1v1. Now he's synchro dashing right away. Super Marco freely escapes out of Kelra's hands. And Kyle Teasy's here. Saving and holding off, and Kelra falls. Kyle Teasy to the rescue.
Wow.
I love to see it, man. There's a 4-on-4 for the turtle. Great use of the heavy spin to be able to get that space and then get the retry off. And then meanwhile in the gold lane, the gold laners battling it out for their own standard tile. But here comes Kyle Teasy, right? It was not able, Kelra was not able to capitalize that kill. Maybe one more hit. But that's the downside of carry, right? Your attack range as well, a little limited. But man, a lot of back and forth here. But even so, hold on, Escalera.
Heavy spin. Escalera won't be able to escape this one. Heavy spin still going. We got one from Onic Philippines and AP Brand looking for a way to open them up. Open on the last HP bar. Eternal Guard connecting onto him. King Kong secures the kill. Salmon Force being laid down. Super Marco looking for a way to Chrono Dash his way out. Damage to King Kong. Now looking for a way to peel them off. Onic Philippines. Still being careful of the next steps against AP Bren.
It's Glass Cannon, Wolf.
Yep, glass cannon build. We're talking about for Ogwen. At this point, he's not that strong yet. And this, okay, there's a recall. Or the diversion, I mean. It's called the diversion.
Diversion.
But then again, for AP Bren, despite them really trailing behind after the first roll, they have equalized. And I think at this point, it's an even game for AP Bren as well as Onic. And it's also good that Super Marco is having a little bit more farm compared to Kelra.
It's good that they, like, in this match at least, AP Bren able to find some wins where they can, so keeping things getting out of hand. Remember the previous game, Onic Philippines, they had quite a big lead at this point. Ogwen going to get picked off once again here, but he has plenty of health bars. Eternal Guard going to come down, but the battle for this turtle looks like it could possibly be a full-on team fight here as it breaks out. Half health for the turtle.
And Super Marco in the process.
Diversion.
Super Marco. What a great position by AP Brand. Kelty secures the turtle. Now they don't know where Super Marco is. Flapteasy and Few looking for a way to hold it down. Super Marco! 7 force on to 3. Damage connecting. Escalera is low. Jam looking for a way to escape. Looking his hammer. Looking for a way for a safe passage back. Connecting. That synchro fishing right onto him. He falls. AP Brand maximizing space, land, and that's how they rotate around Onic Philippines.
Battle for the resources
King
here.
Kong. He's just low, but he's a boxer. Battle the two beefy boys. Whew. Kyle Teasy steals it right in front of his face.
Yep. And AP Bren and Super Marco says you can't flank the flanker. At this point, a very nifty play there coming out from Mr. Few, sending his gold laner to the bush.
What a diversion.
So what do we call that bush?
Yeah, what is that bush, Wolf?
Okay. Yeah, so wherever the Ruby is speaking is positioned at. What do we call that? Rock or the bush? Or golem? Usually teams call it the golem bush.
Golem bush.
Yeah.
Okay.
For those of you that might be scratching your heads,
Yeah.
high IQ level here. Every bush in the game
Yes.
has a name.
Exactly. This is typically the long bush. Wherever Ogwen, this is the Kramer's bush we're looking at.
That
You know, if you guys are fans of the MPL and next thing you know in your RGs, you have open mic and someone saying cramp.
Oh,
Okay.
Surprise, surprise!
Okay.
Diversion play from AP Brand. Now Escalar senses. Oh, that's a good pull from the eye offended. Now Keltis uses for a way to escape with a heavy spin. Keltis on to Few.
Uh-oh,
Three-man
Few.
looking for a way to catch down Few. He's stunned. He goes down. Super Prince.
Oh,
With the curse blast, Ogwen though looking for a way to slice Onic Philippines in half, diverting everybody to not go to Flabber. Even Super Marco, successful way of diverting attention. Ogwen of AP Bren with a response and save.
Wow. A disaster turned into a hashtag worth play for AP Brand. They have lost few, have lost their heavy spin, but in exchange for Kelra, they're going to take that trade any time of the day.
And not to mention, again, with this Super Marco having the 2 kills on this Harith, we know that the scale, the spike, especially for Harith around this part of the game, is there. So the fact that they have this right now for AP Bren, that is an advantage that they approach this Lord fight. But the conceal comes through. Super
Conceal.
Marco.
You have Super Marcus going to be in trouble here. That's a land shaker connecting onto Escalera. Synchrovision connecting damage. Secures kill for Flap Teasy. That's a good response. Escalera is down. There's no I'm offended play for Onic Philippines.
They might have to give this up. They're staying around the area.
Oh, look at the Terrify. Internal guard. Used onto Few. And it burns. The knock-up. Still guarding the front line of this Lord. They're trying to go around. Oh, that's the Terrify connecting onto Flap. He goes back. Now Ogun looking for a way to open up the weak points of Onic Philippines' team fighting capability. Now he's still looking for a way. Penalties on to two Flap. He's in field now being in trouble. King Kong looking for a way to take down Flap. He successfully takes him down. Ogun with exchange Super Friends for the trade. And Kelra takes down Ogun as well. That's a 2-1. A 2-1 for Onic Philippines to maximize the space. Gem with a play, penalty zone, and that's scattered AP Brent back to base.
Absolutely.
Hidden gem.
Good for Gem with that play, punishing AP Brand. But I have to hand it to Onic. The way that they set up their box going up against AP Brand, they have protected Killer so much in that game. Have to take note, this is Flap TZ, Lapu Lapu, and Masha by Ogwen. That has to be guarded against this carry. My oh my, the way that Onic defended their gold laner and the way that they set up their box is so good to watch.
Oh no, AP Brent is going to be to defend this moments of the game. Will Onic be the one to stop their winning streak? AP Brent will be melting this objective out of their hands, but this is a very close game. The lead is just bouncing from 300 to 500, back to Onic, back to AP Bren. But so far, the waves that Onic is being made. But there was, okay. There's a diversion play at hand. Will this be a successful play? Escalera, will he sense blood? He does! I'm offended play. He spots two, Kyle TZ and Ogwen. Oh wow, Escalera with a game sense. He knows that something might happen just like that, and they don't want to happen at this point in time of the game. AP Brent looking for an avenue to break Onic Philippines' waves.
Yeah.
They gotta respect the fact that even with this still relatively being a close game, it's still tough for AP Brent to break through that box that Wolf's been talking about. If you just watch the positioning of Onic Philippines and a lot of these skirmishes leading into a possible team fight, the positioning is on point, not to mention the peel potential to be able to peel for Kelra. He struggled a little bit, but now he's finding his footing. And item-wise, how's it looking here, Wolf?
Pretty standard. I think the fact that you have the Guardian helmets now for both the junglers, it means that this is their preparation for the next Lord, the Luminous Lord. That it's very important for them. And then obviously you have to look at Ogwen, now with the Blade of Despair. He is going to be the game changer in the latter portions of the match. And one thing that you also have to take note is that Kelra is still yet to get his Wind of Nature, but I think it is going to be his 4th item.
Yep.
Which kind of sucks because you don't want to pick up the Wind of Nature when you're playing up against a Harith. Because in a 1v1 scenario, you still will be taken out because of the magic damage output of Harith. But then you still need it because you're facing a Masha. So, a very weird spot to be in if you're a Kelra.
It's tough for AP Brent because in a way it's like, all right, Ogwen, he has I mean, the fact that he is a glass cannon, that's what this Masha is. The hard part for him is to be able to find his own angle, the entry point that he's looking for when some of this fight breaks through. And meanwhile, for AP Bren, you have to be able to play with that front. The fact that Ogwen's going to be usually somewhere else, not around this fight, and then Few himself, like Few, you only have a Purify. You don't have much escape on this Louis Yi. So you kind of have to rely on your positioning as well, and there's so much pressure from Onyx lineup. Here's the conceal. This is what we're talking about. Gem on the front side as well. Holding on to that penalty zone combination. Lord of fourth of the health.
Falling down on low HP. The Lord is falling down low. Who's going to get this major objective? Few. Another one, another play. Will the captain make it this time? Another one starts the dust. Super Prince secures the Lord. Counting down Ogwen. Now it's a setup for AP Bren. Will they be able to take down another one from Onic Philippines? They're backing away. They're backing away. King Kong on low health trying to target down Super Marco. Looks like he won't be able to escape Kelra's killing spree. And now Super Prince eyeing on Few. Will he be able to take him down? That's the first blast connecting. He flickers through. Few is burning. He's burning. He's still escaping. Will Gem secure the kill? Oh! Gem secures one! Onic Philippines taking down 3.
Oh no, this is troublesome for AP Bren.
Anyay,
They may
apakah
not
bisa
be able to
menang guys?
defend, especially because Few
Tiga
died.
melawan 5 guys.
They might
Very
run out of
late.
time.
Can they defend? Can they defend Lord? Just siege in through Flap T's.
Bisa nih.
Oh no,
Oh no,
Kalti
kalah.
Flap T's
Onic
and
GG
Ogwen.
guys.
It's Onic
Rantunya
Philippines the
ditundukkan
team.
guys.
Super Marco is now back in the game. Will they be able to hold this through? There's the Lord. Eyes on the crystal. That's their total guard connecting to Super Marco. And that's the last hit.
ditundukkan guys.
Onic Philippines. The
Anjay.
only team to stop the streak
Anjay,
of
Raja
AP
Dunia
Bren.
ditundukkan di Onic guys.
Gods do bleed as Onic Philippines sweeps AP Bren, the first team to do it. What a way for them to
Raja
capitalize this first
Dunia
half of the regular
Apri Bren
season.
kalah guys.
The last time that
Onic
AP
menggila,
Bren was
guys.
defeated in a full
Anjay.
series was December 2023.